Hello, welcome to the Sears Company training video. New employee, we're gonna show you some tips on how to be a Sears team member. Are you ready? You didn't answer me.
Your video, how are you supposed to know if I answered or not?
You're supposed to talk to the video.
Screw that. I'm not one of your machines, man.
Oh, well, that sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? Episode 157.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Yep. Do you guys know what happens when you add up 157?
No.
We get a very bad number that we're not going to talk about. Boom.
6.
6.
Fucking number 6. Hate number 6.
You guys,
Why can't
are you
be
guys
like all the other numbers?
Are you guys a hater of the number 6?
I'm a number 6 hater. Oh yeah.
What has the number 6 ever done to you?
Multiply number 6 by 3. Do you know where you get 666? Satan's number. It's a conspiracy.
It might be a conspiracy theory.
Number 6 used to sneak into my room when I was a small child and play chess with my nipples.
You know, that would do it.
That's
you know,
a very specific thing, but okay.
As somebody who's
I didn't say it made sense.
as somebody whose names all add up to 6, so the 666, I am definitely feeling satanic on today's episode.
Initials are also KKK. That's
that kind of contradicts the 666 though, doesn't it?
Well, So
you
what
got
you
two
saying,
bad things going for you, man. Two bad things.
Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't say
shit.
the KKK is. I would say they have more in common with Satan and all that kind of stuff than, because you're saying they're morally opposed. So what you're kind of justified saying they're morally just if the devil's bad.
Oh, I thought they were like. I don't know
We are
anything
on
about the
very,
KKK, man.
very shaky ground right now.
And I don't know anything about the KKK.
Good. Neither do I, to be fair, other than, the obvious stuff. Maybe they're all just a bunch of misunderstood guys.
As the resident American, I'm going to tell you that's not true.
The Happy Hour does not endorse the KKK, or indeed any racism, so there you go.
But you guys
that's
do
our stance
endorse
there.
me.
We endorse you, obviously.
We endorse you, and strangely enough, the KKK does endorse us. We're trying to get that redacted. We don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, there's a fan there. What, don't they have like really silly names, like from Dungeons and Dragons? Like,
Oh yeah, they're like the Supreme Dragon or
Wizard.
shit like that.
I don't know. It's kind of funny. The Supreme Wizard Chancellor Pope enjoys
Yeah,
the show.
it's
I've been
stupid
told,
shit
so.
like that. No, they're a bunch of nerds.
Nerd.
Yeah, you bunch of stupid nerds. Time for an episode about your stupid anime, whatever that shit is.
Not like us. Very cool. Talking about all the manliest of animes. Actually,
Today
to be fair, we kind
we're
of
gonna.
do.
What are we gonna talk about today? I don't know.
Aren't we? Do you think we plan? Do you think I came here with a plan?
Yeah, you did. You came here with a plan to keep breathing and keep living.
That is kind of true. That is actually one thing that I did. I haven't made a conscious effort to do that, no. But I have made a conscious effort to say, it's episode 157 of the Manga Race Community Happy Hour. We're going to be talking about manga and anime games and all that good stuff. We spoke about games a lot last week, I remember. It was a game-heavy show. Which
It was a bit of a gamey episode.
Gamers rise up. It was your episode, so, I mean, it links hand in hand. It's something that we all enjoy.
I've been playing a lot of games.
There you go. That was some fun and interesting conversation from what I remember. Speaking of which, I remember my name as well, and it is Vacant. So
Shit.
I'm Vacant. If you ever wanted to, if you were ever questioned by listening to this and someone said, who's that annoying British guy, then you can just say that's Vacant. To my virtual left, the man with the initials KKK, but not affiliated in any way to the cult or group or whatever they are, KKK. It is Manimal.
Sometimes in life, that's just how things work out. Hi, guys.
And of course, filling out the cast of three, the hat trick, as it were, he is the Cancerian of Amarian.
Cancerian.
It's Coryn.
Those are the right words, but I'll take it. Close enough.
I feel like
2 points.
Cancerian should be good.
It's Kansan.
Kansan. But Cancerian sounds better.
Yeah, I guess
It sounds like I'm an alien from Star Trek.
It does, to be fair. It makes you
Adding
sound more
Ians to end of things are just how you get Star Trek aliens.
Inglarian. Would I be...
Kardashians.
I would be a Britarian.
Britarian.
I like that. That sounds quite cool, actually. Britarian.
See? Star Trek aliens. Oh, nothing but Star Trek aliens.
Yeah, it makes
Can I be a Canadan?
Canadan. You can be. Do you think there's a Canadian Dan who's just called Canadan out there?
Well, actually, Canadan Sanomat's a Finnish language newspaper over here.
I guess if you're a Scottish person asking a guy named Dan if he can do something, you say Canadan.
Canadan.
Canadan. I'm really excited because apparently there's a new guy who started work and they were very specific. He's got a Glaswegian accent, so I can't wait to talk to him.
Glaswegian?
He's
like
from
Glasgow and Norwegian?
No, they just call it Glaswegian. I don't even know if that's the correct term, but that's what the person used.
No, I've heard that term before.
I think it is. I am not very strong with. Is it dynonyms they're called? Like when you're from somewhere? I think it's called that, dynonym.
I never thought about looking up the term for it.
Do you guys want to get
I'm
some
just gonna say yes.
food?
Do I like what?
Would you like some Chinan food?
Chinan.
They're just adding "an" to everything now.
Yeah, apparently.
Chinan. Jap? Oh no, Japan is just Japan. Never mind. Moving on.
So we say Japanese, but I'm sure they don't say Nipponese. I'm sure it's got to be something else.
Yeah, it's probably something a little different.
Maybe Nippon is just plural too?
What about Nipalainen?
They probably don't say that in the Japanese language. I'm just guessing.
Well, I'm going to call you a Britalainen.
You go for that. I want to know how your week lion has been.
Well, I'll tell you, Alainen, how it's been. This week was pretty normal. Nothing super thrilling. This is like not an exciting story, but a funny one. You guys know those guys who go around trying to sell like chocolate bars for charity and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, something like that.
Yes, so this guy came in the store and he's like, "Do you want to buy some chocolate for the Special Olympics? $3." Everyone was like, "Nah, we don't really want your chocolate." He was like a, what would you call it? He's a bit of a plump guy with a toucan, and he felt somewhat bad for him. So then he like sat down on the couch that we had out for sale, and he was just sitting there. And people would walk by, and he'd be like, "Do you want to buy chocolate bars?" And then he just started like sadly counting his money, and he was just like, "There's this visual that's stuck in my mind all week of him just slumped over on the bamboo furniture set with his toucan, trying to sell his chocolate bars for the Special Olympics."
When you say toucan, do you mean like the bird? Like a toucan?
Well, beanie. It's the word for beanie.
Right, okay. I was just confused as there was a guy with a toucan on, like an exotic tropical bird on his shoulder.
No, he doesn't have a toucan Sam on his shoulder. It's just there's this week has been the image of him just sitting on the couch trying to sell his chocolate bars. This is a very specific thing, but that's how my stories often go.
You said it was a funny story. I just feel a bit sad for this man.
I did. I really wanted to give him money, but I didn't have any change. And I wasn't exactly going to just reach in the register and be like, "Here you go."
You could have if you wanted to.
Maybe I could have. But yeah, otherwise, what else happened? I don't know. Things have been going on. Oh, I got the diamond assault rifle camos in Black Ops 4, and now I'm super cool. Actually, I feel like a douche whenever I play with them because like the diamond camos inherently look douchey, but you still want to use them just to kind of be like, "Hey guys, look what I got." But they're easy. It took me 40 hours to get them or something like that. Or that's how much game time I've put in so far. And, gotta show your status in game. I don't know. I just kind of feel like a dink whenever I play with them.
I was going to say, you've got to let everyone know. You ain't no noob. You've got that diamond camo.
Yeah. And I got so I ordered the first 3 Tomb Raider games on eBay, and they came packaged horrifically. Shout out to the guy from Alberta that doesn't know how to package CD cases, so they all came broken. I was not happy about that.
I'll be
But,
honest, if they are PS1 games, it's likely that they were already broken at some point.
Oh,
Like,
definitely
long
the
before
case.
then.
Yeah, well, there's CD cases, so they're easy to replace anyway. But the only thing is my PS1 memory card doesn't work. So imagine having to, buy a PS1 memory card on Amazon and not finding one in any secondhand shop. So now I gotta wait until Wednesday to play Tomb Raider. Holy shit.
But that sounds quite likely to me. Like, that they wouldn't have any. You're saying that
I
as
don't
if, like... I
Every
can't think of
place- Every place has PS2 and GameCube memory cards.
Really? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I
It's
am
very
missing
common.
out.
It is very common to find PS2 memory cards, but not PS1 ones for some reason. And if you play on the PS2, you can only use PS1 memory cards for PS1 games as well.
Really?
So I kind of, yeah. It's silly.
Huh.
Because I was playing the first, 2 levels, and I was like, cool, I can't wait to play again tomorrow. And then I'm like, oh shit, it didn't save. And I was actually, I thought it was fun. Like, I thought the D-pad would be, a disaster to control. But after, 15 minutes, I got used to it.
Hey, that's what we told you. We said you'd get used to it.
Well, yeah, because, you move forward with the front one, and then you look with the other two, but you could still, go forward and then look around at the other two. So it's not like it's, impossible or anything. It's a little wonky, but you kind of get used to it, and it has, this nice charm to it. And that's the kind of...
curve.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to play, a game that had that kind of charm. I started playing Nier again because, Nier keeps going on about, the soundtrack. And I was, when I played the game through the first time, I had no idea what it sounded like or anything because I just listened to albums. So I started playing it and I was like, holy shit, Nier's right. Because when I was playing it again and actually, listening to the game, I was like, oh my god, now I know what he means. Because sure enough, it's not the kind of game you can just put your own music onto because it actually, does have a great soundtrack. And I am taking in the story a lot more for the game.
It's almost like we haven't been leading you astray all these years.
Well, I guess it's just I've taken games more seriously as a medium of storytelling ever since I've played Spider-Man. I think that's really what it was. When I played Spider-Man, I was just kind of like, okay, I don't watch shows anymore, pretty much, so I
Gotta
need
get
some
your
kind
narratives
of
from
stuff like
somewhere.
that. Yeah, so I've taken it more seriously, like I did before 2013. But yeah, other than that, nothing too exciting has happened this week.
Fair enough.
Oh, I finished my 16th album. My Nonsense, available on KATTILA.bandcamp.com. 10 songs on this album. Is it a great album? It's not bad. It's a more straight on rock album than my other ones. There's less nonsense with this one. It's not as good as Post America, but it's better than The Natural Order, so that's a good thing.
What's going to be better than Post America? Let's be honest.
Honestly, nothing. Because Post America is my best album.
See, I shouldn't be saying that, because you'll believe that, you'll feed into that, and just be like, I've peaked. I've peaked, guys. There's nothing else I can do.
I listened to this amazing album. It was Haru to Shura? Is that how you say it? By Haru Negumi. If that's how you say her name. Negumi is probably correct.
No clue, so I'm gonna...
It was a shocking album, because it combines that kind of underground J-pop thing, not quite alt-idol, but with the rapping, and then also shoegaze and noise rock and stuff like that. And this album is freaking great. I listened to it and shit my pants, and I was just kind of she's the same age as me, I think. I think she's 22, and she's making music like this. What am I doing? But of course, she's also making it for shit tons of people, and I'm just kind of sitting in my basement doing stuff. So it's a little different.
I was gonna say, does she have the benefit of a professional recording studio and editors?
Yeah, and having people to collaborate with, where I'm just kind of all right, let's go.
Hey, don't you dare! You collaborate with Lego on the regular, so don't you can go there.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. Besides Lego, everything is just I just sit there and I'm like, okay, let's go. There's no Lego song on this album, but me and Lego are talking about doing an EP next, and also I want to do a Christmas EP. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, we'll look forward to that.
Yes, because I think this will be my last album of the year. I said that about the last album I made, but I think I mean it this time. So maybe two more EPs. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Fair enough. I look forward to it because, we'll bounce some crimbo, me. Coryn, what have you been doing this last 4 days, 5 days, whatever it's been that we last spoke?
God, I don't know. Let's see. Well, a couple months ago, my company won like a local award for being like the best places to work in Kansas City for like our weight class, I guess, for our size.
Oh, okay. I just thought that's a weird thing.
For your weight class.
That's so weird.
They put us all on one big, comically large scale, along with every other Kansas City company.
I'd be fascinated to discover what the collective weight of employees of a business are. Like, if you compare like every McDonald's in your city, like which one has like the most weight?
The fattest McDonald's.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. We basically took Thursday afternoon off and went drinking. That was pretty fun. We went to Up Down, which we never quite made it to here, but Vacant and I, we did go by it. Tried to get in, but they don't open till fucking 3:00.
Well, shit.
I'm salty about that. Yeah, I'm glad you got to go.
So that's what we did. I got the high score on Pac-Man for a while. Eventually lost it after I was gone, apparently, but, it's cool.
What was your high score, like 12?
I think 12. It was 20,000 plus, somewhere in there. I mean, it's not a great score, but they reset it every day.
Oh, okay.
So basically it was a competition between my company, and I was doing pretty good for a while. That was neat. And then, I don't know, I baked some snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles.
The first batch came out real good, and then I listened to my brother, whose advice was put it in for another 2 minutes, and they turned out burnt.
Thanks, Coryn's brother.
Thanks, Coryn number 2.
Coryn the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel. Born immediately after, but he's still the sequel.
Yeah, but immediately after still is after.
It is technically afterwards, yes. Yeah, he was here yesterday. We hung out a little bit. And not too much. I finished another book, so my pile's going down finally. I'm getting into my backlog of Monogatari novels now, which are kind of all over the place.
I'm still trying to read through that first book.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it a while ago.
When you say the first one, which one do you mean was the first one? You mean, did you get Bake or?
Yeah, that first one. I bought it like a year ago, and sometimes I'm like, hey, time to read this, and then I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, it's a different experience reading them. But Kizu got translated first, so that's the first one I actually read.
Oh, okay.
So I've been all over the place with it. So I read Kizu, and then I read the first 2 of Bake, and then I took a year off. And now I have the 3rd Bake sitting on my nightstand, and I have on the shelf, I have the first issue of the first book of Nisei. I think there's only 2, maybe there's 3 of Nisei.
Oh, I can't wait to read that toothbrush scene in novel format.
It's going to be awkward. And then I have all of Neko, but I feel like I need to read Nisei first because Nisei happens before Neko does. I don't even know where they are, man. I just feel like every time I go to the bookstore, there's another 3 of them been translated.
Yeah, it's time to slow down, companies.
Well, I mean, the problem is they were already all written, and then they just started translating them willy-nilly.
Yeah, just all willy-nilly translated stupid books.
I mean, they're good books.
No,
but,
I know.
I just wish they had a little more pacing. But, that's kind of been my week. It's been pretty quiet. Played more Red Dead Redemption.
Are you a cowboy?
I am the best cowboy.
Wanted dead or alive?
Nope. Well, in one place I am, but that's not my fault.
That's what they all say.
Well, there's one place in the game that you're wanted dead or alive from the beginning of the game because of narrative reasons.
It's all the same.
Okay, that would constitute as not necessarily your fault.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you can get a dead or alive rating based on just things you do personally, like that aren't related to the story.
So wait, Red Dead 2, can you be wanted dead or alive? Because I feel like it's not really like a Wild West game unless you're wanted dead or alive.
Again, in certain areas, you're wanted dead or alive.
Okay.
But like, if you do like just normal crime as you're playing, you end up with you become wanted and you get a bounty, but you can go pay it off if you want to.
Okay.
You can. Oh no, that's different. I was going to say you can collect your own bounty.
I mean, I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, imagine if you had a bounty on you and you could just go to the guy and be like, "Hey, give me the money."
Because here's the guy you're after. He's dead.
Here's the thing. I've tried it before, and I've gotten a high bounty, and people don't just like come after you. As far as I can tell, I've had it up to like $80, which is fairly high. It's pretty substantial for this game. And like, I don't know. I would like to get to the point where like bounty hunters come after you. I assume that would happen at some point. But like, I could still walk up to like the sheriff and he'd just be like, "Get out of here.
You little scamp."
Yeah, it's a pretty lackadaisical take on justice.
How big are his balls?
You know, they don't model them, so we'll never really know.
Shit.
Well, I'm not buying. I've just cancelled my order of this game. You ain't modeling balls, then I ain't interested.
I think you can buy a different game that will get you that same thing.
I mean, if they put all the work into the horse testicles and stuff, like...
Oh, if there's horse testes in there, then I suppose I'll have to make do, but, you know, let it be known. I'm not happy.
Yeah. Stupid rock star.
Fucking rock star. Hope you go out of business, not modeling this shit.
You think you made a good game, but the sheriff don't even got balls.
Yeah. How can you even pretend that you've put work in? 100-hour weeks, they were saying how their staff were working overtime to get this game going. Well, you left out one crucial detail, didn't you? Sheriff testicles. And as we're known as Sheriff Big Balls, well, me, you know, collectively, we're all known as Sheriff Big Balls. That's something I'm not too happy about.
Yeah, they're so big that every time I walk, I'm ringing them.
Ringing my balls. This is really unrelated, but did anyone see the news article of a guy who died because he injected his testicles with silicone?
What the?
Like to make them larger. He was into like some gay BDSM, not a cult, but like a group. I don't really know what to call it. Like a community who were into. He was
he was into BDSM. He was in the BDSM community.
I couldn't remember the correct term.
I don't know if it's a cult. I think it's just a thing people are into.
Yeah,
it could have been a cult. I'm not reading the story, but it doesn't sound like it if you don't actually know it was a cult. I feel like that's the first thing they put in. I think that's the first thing, if you're a reporter, that you put in the title.
Wait,
which one's the most important?
If you put cult, then people are interested because, you know, people who are like, "Oh, I love true crime. Oh, cults, Charles Manson, look, man, Jonestown."
It doesn't matter who you are. You never turn down a good cult when you have one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are you saying that you wouldn't read "Man dies after inflating testicles with silicone"?
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need to hear.
I'd still read it, but if there was a cult and I was a reporter, I'd put "man in cult dies" after.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know. I mean, the idea of just like injecting the testes of silicone is like fascinating enough not to have any more elements.
I think the problem lies with the phrase injecting the testes. Ingesting the testes is another problem entirely.
That's even worse. Yeah, you'd probably die from that as well if you didn't get that, cleared up.
Well, that's what he did, right?
He didn't ingest his testicles. He injected.
I said inject, but maybe I said ingest by accident.
No, someone was talking about
I said
testicles.
ingest on accident.
There you go.
There we go.
I meant
inject. Both are problematic.
Should that be my next album name? Ingest the Testicles?
No.
I really don't want to call my next album that.
I'm going to go on a limb and say no.
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah?
Just do it. See what happens.
Okay. I'm going to call my Christmas album that.
nothing says holiday cheer like a man sadly losing his life because he ingested his own testicles or injected them. Yeah, nasty way to go out. That is.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, just a little. Wait, how did he? Okay, I don't actually want to know. We don't have to talk about this.
How did he die? It was something to do with because of the injections. It caused. He ended up dying because of something with his lungs. I don't know.
So you can't just inject stuff into your body. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You need to be a
fucked
doctor.
up his blood, basically. Yeah, but I saw a picture and I can kind of understand why. Because it looked like he just had like a football down there, and it was weird. It was a closed picture.
Why was there a picture?
Well, if you, I'm not going to lie, if you hear that someone has injected their testicles with so much silicone that they've died.
Oh wait, so like he was doing it over time, and there were pictures of him where it was like bulging.
Yeah, I assume it was like he didn't instantaneously die.
Yeah, because what I imagine is that like he did it once and then instantly just like boom on the floor.
Like, as soon as he'd done it, he was like, "This is a mistake."
Yeah.
I was going to say I could try and find the article, but nah. On second thought, let's not.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm good for it. I don't know where we left off there.
My week was ending. I think we're on to yours.
Oh, okay, sweet. What have I done this week?
Yeah.
I am honestly struggling to recall. I should start writing shit down because I'm struggling.
I believe you went to Manchester?
Yeah, there you go. Do you know what it is? It's because I am doing these night shifts. I forget what fucking day it is. I've missed football 3 weeks in a row because I haven't realised it's the weekend. I'm super salty about that kind of shit. But yeah, went to Manchester, did some shopping because it's my B-day. Wasn't buying for myself, but you know, there's a lot of B-days in November. So that's going to be exciting times in 5 days. I don't want much audience. If you are listening, you know, just monetary donations will do. 3-figure range is I'm happy with.
I already gave you that amethyst thing, so you're good.
You did. You actually did. I've got plenty of presents from you. A wood pen that I can't ever find because it's the cat's favourite thing to pick up because it's like an actual stick. Genuine Canadian wood seems to attract cats, I guess. It just keeps picking the fucking thing up and moving it. So every time I find it, I'll put it in a safe place, and then it'll disappear. Because little bastard.
Freaking rip.
But you know, at least in one way, it's getting used.
I wonder if Nair's noticed the fridge magnet yet. He hasn't said anything, so I don't know.
Did you put a fridge magnet on his fridge?
Yeah.
maybe he hasn't. Maybe
he has.
Maybe he's sitting there listening to this right now, and he's got his back to his kitchen, and he's just going to slowly turn around like, motherfucker.
He's like,
We should have done something like that when we were there. We should have like subtly replaced pictures.
See, this is my idea. My idea when we went there is that I was going to leave shit all over Nair's place. Like I was going to put notes in the cabinet and just like on top of the toilet and shit. Like I was just going to leave notes everywhere, and then I didn't do that.
On top of the toilet?
Or just somewhere. Like I was just going to like start leaving notes everywhere, but I didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, that's good in one way because you're respecting his home because you don't want to go like, you know, firking around too many things, burying notes in places, you know?
All I did was leave a pack of disposable razors in the thing under the sink in his downstairs washroom.
And he's never forgotten that. He's held on to that grudge. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. So I've been working nights, which is a weird thing, but because you get longer breaks and it's obviously a lot quiet, I can do a lot more reading, which is kind of cool. So about 3:00, I'll just take half an hour on the beanbags and I'll just do some reading. I'm still reading the book I was on about last week, the Manga in Theory and Practice one. So that's nice and enjoyable. Also, the weirdest thing happened when we were at work overnight. There's a few people in. There's us, and then there's like the support team who are on the phones. Obviously, they're not getting many calls at 2, so they've not got shit to do. So some people are chatting, they're talking, and it really made me laugh because they were talking about politics. You know, they were talking about Brexit, these are all very divisive issues, aren't they? You know, people fall on one side or other. You know, it's not black and white. Very tense issues that people, you know, serious, important things people are talking about. And we actually got onto the conversation of what we valued most and what we thought was like, you know, important principles and all that. Really deep, important, serious stuff. Very civil. Very nice debate, I'd say. Like, very civilized, very calm. No emotion shown, right?
And then...
About an hour later, one of the guys mentions anime. The lad goes, everyone keeps telling me watch some anime. You watch it, don't you, Si? What's like a good one to start with? So I was thinking of what was on Netflix, because everyone has Netflix. So I was like, Death Note. Start with Death Note. It's alright. Someone pipes up on the other end of the office. Not a peep when all this political debate was going on, but Death Note's a bit shit, actually. I wouldn't recommend it.
See, we are talking about someone, I'm assuming, who probably doesn't care as much about politics as they do about anime.
You would be correct. This is one where, like I say, nothing, no reactions, no calm.
Sounds like me.
No, it was a bit boring. No character development in Death Note, really. There's not really much character development. Not really much. So then their manager starts sending like Skype messages across to the dude, giving him suggestions. So they're going through them. They're telling me what's Code Geass. I was like, yeah, Code Geass is decent. Watch Code Geass. What's Sword Art Online? Two lads pipe up. The one's closest to me. Another lad who watches anime. He's close to me. I goes, I don't know if you like Sword Art Online. Like, if you're just getting into anime, I don't think that'd be your kind of thing. He goes, Sword Art Online shit. The lad who had said Death Note is shit stood up angrily, like actually emotional, like he had passion and fire in his belly. Shut your fucking mouth. Sword Art is not shit. I've never seen an impassioned speech in the defense. It happened in real life, and I was like, I'm witnessing someone defending Sword Art Online, like, vehemently, like, in real life. It was really strange. I was like, how is this the thing that gets this person worked up? Like,
that's what he cares about. That's,
Brexit,
you know, he goes home. He ain't thinking about no breakfast. He's thinking about Asuna.
So we started talking about it, sort of. He's like, "Why do you hate it? Why do you like it?" And he's like, "You were saying that Death Note was good, and I was saying there's no character development. There's character development in Sword Art Online." So I was like, "Yeah, no, I love when they play house for 4 episodes and stop the show. That's fucking character development. That is all development. That is showing their relationship."
Holy!
I was getting a little bit hot under the collar. I was like, "Boy, don't even.
You guys are ready to throw down?
I was like, I've never seen a more, like, impassioned argument between, like, 4 people. It was like everything we were throwing mud at the wall until fucking Sword Art came up, and then that's it. It all went off.
Well, yeah, like, you know, breathfix, like, been there, done that. Like, how long have you guys been breathfixing? A long time.
How long
Sword
have
Art,
people,
though?
I would say Sword Art Online has been around longer than Brexit.
Oh, no, I know.
Brexit.
Yeah.
Oh, it just really made me laugh. That kind of, out of everything, that was the thing that's lit the fuse, and it did not stop. Oh my god. This guy, after that, every suggestion, no, it's shit. No, it's shit. I goes, Black Lagoon, if you're into, because what do you like? Do you like that sort of adult violence kind of shit? Black Lagoon, that's a nice sort of appeals to Western sort of tastes if you're unfamiliar with anime and all the tropes. So you can't, all I'm saying is if you're unfamiliar, you can't just walk in to like a fucking, you know, Magical Girl Ore or, you know, Zombieland Saga or Love Live. You can't just walk in there unprepared. You gotta be a bit, you know, exposed to the culture first.
Yeah, we've covered this before. You need, if you're completely new, you need a easing in point. You can't just dive in dick first.
See, I don't know. I think you just need something that commonly like relates to you on some ground with stuff that you already like.
Exactly.
Again, like
Black Lagoon's good, that kind of thing if you're already into like action movies.
Gurren Lagann did it for me because I already like Transformers, so it was like a natural step up because they were like cool robots and shit. So you just need something that relates to you, not necessarily like a easy like Black Lagoon or Death Note or whatever.
Yeah, because I was saying, I was like, well, it's a genre. Like, as a whole, it's a genre, so I can't really recommend something for you without knowing what you're into. Like, do you like,
exactly.
Do you like mystery? Do you like, this kind of shit? I was trying to get a baseline. I was like, have you ever watched Dragon Ball Z? Did you like Dragon Ball Z? No. And then, like, I was throwing things out. I was like, okay, did you watch Pokemon as a kid? No, not really. Did you watch blah, blah, Yu-Gi-Oh? I was like, bits like, stuff like that. Beyblade. Beyblade's fucking sick!
He already likes Beyblade.
He hated Dragon Ball Z, loved the bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! So.
They are very different shows.
That's true. I mean, I'm not dissing Beyblade. I remember Beyblade very fondly growing up. I don't know how I'd feel about it if I watched it now.
I watched.
You feel like you need to go get some fucking Beyblades. Is what you'd think.
Yeah.
that would absolutely be true. I would. I'd be very susceptible to diving back into it. We were watching some Beyblades the other week. Me and my mate, we were talking about it. There's YouTube videos of people having a tournament, like an official tournament of it, in a little plastic arena. One of the little cunts.
Is there a YouTube video about the time that somebody stole my fake knockoff Beyblade from the buck or two?
Maybe.
That's a very specific story that I think I've told on the show before.
If there is, I didn't come across it, sadly.
Man, it was still one of those magic moments where I spun the fake knockoff Beyblade they sold at the buck or two, and then like some older kid appeared, and then all of a sudden my Beyblade just disappeared from the ice. It was really a magnificent thing.
Oh.
Like, he didn't say anything. Nothing was said. It was just I spun it, and then it just vanished.
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's just, you got a nothing personal, kid.
It fell through the geometry off the map. It's just an empty void beneath us.
You're just sitting there with, like, the ripcord in hand, and it's just like...
Beybladeless.
Shit. I'm Beybladeless. This guy just stole my Beyblade.
To be fair, like, the ones that weren't on the show were normally the best Beyblades. Like, the ones that were,
Man.
The non-named ones, the ones that weren't used by the characters.
In, like, grade 3 or 4, someone's, like, dad delivered them a Beyblade during lunch. Like, he came in and was like, here you go. He's like, here you go, son. So he had, like, his Beyblade. He started, like, making it. Everyone was just like, oh, wow, your dad must be rich. I don't know why everyone thought his dad was rich, but his dad it was such a power move that his dad showed up and just gave him a Beyblade. And then I was like,
weird.
I was like, here's my China ripoff Beyblade.
That's true commitment to the game.
I need a Beyblade.
This is such a specific memory that his dad actually just walked in and was like, here's a Beyblade, kid.
It'd be even funny if it was like during like the class or something. It's like history class, and his dad just like bursts in. It's like, is there an emergency there, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, time for it.
This kid needs a trigger.
He needs a goddamn Beyblade. I don't remember what grade Beyblade was. It was definitely like 3 or 4, something like that.
You're looking at 2003, 4?
Yeah, I think 2003 or 4 sounds about right to me.
Think so. Yeah, I'd have to check, but I remember that's when it sort of swept
because
through all.
2001, 2, and 3 belonged to Bionicle, and then I don't know.
You ain't taking that. You ain't taking that crown, Beyblade.
I mean,
no,
they were like subplots in those years, like Sonic X and stuff like that. But still.
Good old Beyblade. I do miss Beyblade.
Yeah,
in
Beyblade.
Fact,
Beyblade is a subplot.
Beyblade. In the shonen story that I write, one of the main characters' name is Kai, and the reason his name is Kai is because of the guy from Beyblade. Because I really dug that character, and I was like, I like that name. I'm taking that name. So the cool, aloof character has transferred on.
Man, what's cool? What's cooler though, Beyblades or Teckdecks?
Beyblades all the way.
Pogs.
What about going old school?
Yeah, that's a little too old for me. I ain't know about no Pogs, but I sure know about Teckdecks that had like. I ain't talking about the skateboards. I'm talking about the little characters that go on the skateboards. Because that's my era.
What?
Oh right, yeah. I remember those things.
My era. See, this is the difference between like me and you guys. Is like my era is like the little characters that like go on top of the smaller Teckdeck skateboards.
I definitely remember them existing. I had one Teckdeck. It might have been a Chinese knockoff Teckdeck. I didn't know how to make it work. I wasn't good at it. Yeah. I lived on a gravel road. Skateboarding was not my thing.
Well, yeah, I cared more about like the little characters. We tried to go like Superstore and get some of them, but they're all selling out. It was big fad at the time to have like those little characters. And then there was like the World Industries as well that were a little bit different. It was a whole thing. I think I still have some in a box.
Well,
Interesting.
I never knew the whole world. I remember the little finger skateboards. Yeah, they got banned in school now because people kept using them.
The finger skateboards eventually evolved to smaller skateboards of like little characters that went on top of them, and that's my era.
Oh,
Freaking
damn it!
kids nowadays ain't know about no Max Steel and Teckdecks characters.
I ain't got nothing on Max Steel, Secret Agent. I've just gone off the rails entirely.
Is he a
yeah,
secret
that
if I know
happened.
about him?
Can't remember what else happened, so I'm gonna hand off to the news now. We're gonna go to the news because
When it's time for the news, you ain't snoozing because it's news time. That was like my least musical little jingle ever.
I know. I feel like you gave up halfway then. I ain't gonna blame you. It's late, so I can't begrudge you that.
It's not really that late, but yeah.
Is here. But let's get on with some news. With the news, I am News McNewserson, and I'm about to give you some hot bants and some hot news.
Lay it upon me.
So, at the time of recording, the split with Funimation and Crunchyroll has happened, and it has affected a lot more titles than I thought. Granted,
So I guess they like removed a bunch off Crunchyroll, or
yes, a lot have gone from Crunchyroll, some have gone from Funimation, but the figure that is floating around at the moment, I can't find the article that's got it on, but I've seen it on Twitter a lot, is that Crunchyroll have lost 250 titles.
well, yeah, like every week they were adding new shows from Funimation.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But then again, like I say, it is mostly back catalogue stuff, so
Well, yeah, primarily, but they were adding some stuff that I was like, maybe I'll get around to watching that.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, I can still watch it anyway, so I'll watch anything I want to watch, no matter what.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Pirate websites have not lost anything, until the day they get taken down and then they lose everything. But until that day, you can watch your lovely, lovely shows. Yeah, and also Funimation have gained about 300, it says, according to Anime News Network. It's probably not gained, it's just the shit has moved over. They could be double counting as well for dubs and subs, so you don't necessarily know.
Oh yeah, probably. What if they just start counting like all the dubs? Like just every different language dub?
Oh, like the Taiwanese dub. There you go. Can't wait for that. 6 new dubs.
There's a couple of shows on Crunchyroll like Kobayashi and stuff that have like 8 different dubs. So you can watch the Portuguese, German, Italai, and other dubs.
Really? Didn't know.
Yeah.
Guess I've never checked that intense.
Don't you want to watch the Portuguese dub of Kobayashi?
I couldn't think of anything more than I want to do. I'm kind of interested in the German dubs of some things.
Yeah, well, haven't you seen like those SpongeBob comparisons of all the dubs that are pretty amazing?
Oh, and they're terrifying.
Yeah, and the German ones are always fantastic.
He's a lot harsher in German, SpongeBob is, funnily enough.
It's great. Yeah.
But yeah, so they've lost a lot. Again, it looks bad, but I think it sounds worse than it is. Obviously, that's a massive chunk of their calendar. Well, but realistically,
that's all stuff that they added like whenever they had their partnership anyway, so they're not really losing on anything.
It's not like they've lost out on licenses. What'll be more interesting is come the winter season. Maybe not the winter season, because that's coming like right now, and I would assume licensing agreements have been arranged already between companies. But certainly the next few seasons coming up, and just seeing how the distribution of those kind of shows in the West happens. Maybe Crunchyroll will be more aggressive and they'll bidding war Funimation. Or maybe it'll go the other way. Maybe they'll have an amicable agreement and all the biggest shows will be shared, because a lot of the stuff that's pre-existing, so like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Food Wars, that kind of stuff, they'll continue to be shared. Like big properties will. So I don't think it'll have a noticeable impact on us or the average consumer.
Well, it surely won't have a noticeable impact on me.
Well, no, because you don't watch it anyway. So, yeah, but it's interesting, like I say, to see what happens. Maybe it'll kick both of them companies. Maybe it'll make Funimation move their arse and actually get their shit out in the UK. Because as great as it is to see constant barrages of adverts for Dragon Ball Super on Funimation's network, when you surprise, when you go to try and log on it in the UK, it's not available in our region. So it's always handy.
Time to get a new region.
Time to get a VPN. The VPN's dead unreliable now. When you try and load it, it's laggy and stuff. So, and sometimes it detects that shit. But maybe that's just me being shit with VPNs. I'll try it next time and see what happens. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, there is a little article that caught my eye. And it was just because they were celebrating, fans were celebrating Dragon Ball Z and commemorating the 50th anniversary of the magazine, that Shueisha. Do you know the one that Dragon Ball was in originally? It's their 50th anniversary. So they were celebrating and they got fans to pick their top 10 Dragon Ball manga moments. Would you like me to shall we think what makes
number
the list?
one is probably the first Super Saiyan transformation.
No, we're talking about Dragon Ball, or we're talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Well, yeah, the Dragon Ball manga is Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It was just Dragon Ball all the way across.
Okay, but we're talking about basically anywhere from the beginning to what, Boo? End of Boo?
Yeah. End of Boo. I can say that Goku First Awakening to Super Saiyan was number 8. Wasn't
Number
even in
8?
the top
Are you
5.
kidding me? That's the best moment in the whole entire show.
I know.
It's a bit different from, the Japanese perspective, though.
I guess so, but to me that was the absolute greatest moment in the series.
That's true, but the dub made it into an entire thing it wasn't actually is.
Oh yeah, true enough. I am the hope of the universe and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that shit didn't fucking happen in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty sick now. I still remember that.
Well,
That's how you introduce a character
number two for me is when Gohan destroys Cell. I'd say that's the second best moment in the series.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, that's Gohan versus Cell is number 2 on this list as well.
Okay, well, it should be, because that was that's number 1 where the series should have ended, and number 2 just the big payoff.
Well, that's where I started watching Dragon Ball Z, and I kind of, the Goku and Cell fight picked a good time to drop on, in fairness.
Was it Gohan that was you won't get away with this?
I think so, yeah, when he stamps through 16's head, when he's just there.
Yeah.
Now, let's be honest, you won't get away with this was Gohan's catchphrase for most of the show.
Or wait, was that Goku that said it when he did his transformation? I don't remember who said that.
Oh yeah, Goku said summit for you.
Oh no, I think that's when Krillin died, and he's you won't get. I don't remember when it was said.
It happened many times.
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't get away with stuff in the Dragon Ball Z universe,
and they actually didn't in the end. So yeah,
I loved the Cell Saga was so good, that fight. Because even just with Goku going, yeah, go on, Gohan, and then Piccolo, Gohan's real dad, just telling him,
have a sensu bean.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot, Goku. Gohan's not a fighter like you. What an idiot. Just because he's strong doesn't mean that he wants to fight. And it's oh shit, yeah. Didn't think about that.
No, the Cell Saga was great. But yeah, let's read through. Let's see what the
Tell us what's on the list.
Sorry, number 10, Goodbye Dragon World, the ending of the Buu Saga and the original Dragon Ball series. The ending's got to be on there, naturally. Number 9,
I guess.
The First Wish made to Shenron. Emperor Pilaf attempts to use Dragon Balls in order to dominate the world, but before he can, Oolong interrupts and wishes for panties. Don't we all remember that in Dragon Ball? Number 8, Goku First Awakens Super Saiyan, which we've just spoke about. Number 7,
should be higher.
Versus Majin Buu.
No, anything with Gotenks, screw off with that shit. Both those characters sucked. Never mind the combination of them.
I liked the fight in the hyperbolic time chamber when...
I don't know. I hated both those characters. They didn't they didn't work for shit. They just one day Chi-Chi was kicking Gotenks or Goten, and he was just kind of boom.
Boom, Super Saiyan 3
Like,
Gotenks.
those characters didn't work for shit. They were terrible, and Gotenks, who cares?
But that was the point. I liked because they were feigning, feigning that they were losing, and then Piccolo just blows up the entrance. Traps everyone in. God,
I don't know.
Piccolo's good.
Those characters just annoy me because, like, unlike every other character in the series, they didn't work for shit. They just got their abilities out of nowhere. You know?
That is true. It does make it rather annoying.
Yeah, because everybody else in the series had to work for their power-ups.
When you consider the Dragon Ball and how strong Goku gets in that journey, like, remember the fucking training with Kami and the journey up the tower and all of that stuff.
Goku got to be the strongest because he actually fucking worked for it. Gotenks just shows up and is like, and also Gotenks' whole shtick is just neener, I'm Gotenks.
Yeah, and I'm a child.
Goten and Kid Trunks, they were just kind of like chilling out, and one day they got kicked and they turned Super Saiyan just like that.
Turned cool as. But then if you are a product of Goku's seed, then you're going to be quite hard, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but Gohan was just kind of like, he had to work for that shit too. You know?
That's true, Gohan. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Obviously, the end of to play devil's advocate at the end of the season, we aren't.
That's another reason that I think the Buu Saga doesn't need to exist. But
I liked it. I'm glad it exists. Was Cell a better stopping point? Yes, but I am happy that the Buu Saga existed because I quite liked Majin Buu.
Yeah. Deborah
gave some good moments. That did.
Yeah. But what else do we got?
Number 6, Goku versus Piccolo Jr. So the climax of the Dragon Ball Saga when Goku was a kid.
That's pretty good. I mean, he's a teenager when he fights Piccolo Jr. But
that's the chest bursting moment, right?
No, that's Piccolo Senior.
Oh,
Piccolo Jr. is just regular Piccolo as we know him later on.
I ain't watched no Dragon Ball.
It was the world, it was like after the time skip, and it's like the world martial arts tournament final.
Okay, that's
against Piccolo.
Okay, yeah.
It's also where he gets engaged to Chi-Chi.
That's true, because he doesn't remember who she is, and she's just trying to fight him to beat him into submission and wedlock, I guess.
There we go.
It works.
It does, actually. As soon as she says her name, he's like, oh yeah, she's like, you promised you'd marry me, and then he's just like,
I thought marriage was something you ate.
Oh, it was good. I like that. That's a fun arc. It makes me want to go back and watch good old Dragon Ball.
That also had the Super Kamehameha in it. Which they just never pulled out again.
Man, I only watched 40 episodes of that show.
If only he needed it again. If only there was an occasion where he needed that move.
Where could you have needed a more powerful Kamehameha, Goku?
Number 5 is Goku versus King Piccolo. So with them.
There we go.
That's the chest burst moment.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Super Vegito versus Majin Buu. Number 3 is Goku.
I guess that's cool. That's the one where he blows up, right?
Wait, Vegeta versus what?
Super Vegito versus Majin Buu. So not
Vegeta. That's
Vegito,
when that's when Goku and Vegeta fuse.
Okay, but because the moment where Vegeta blows himself up was cool as shit.
Yeah, that's a much cooler moment. Is that on the list?
That isn't on the list. Surprisingly, I would have thought that would be around a top 5 because that's when he finally sacrifices himself. When he knocks out Trunks.
Yeah, that's the end of his character arc.
The moment I really liked in the show is when Frieza's beating the shit out of him and he starts crying.
Yeah,
that was an amazing moment in the series where you're like, holy shit, he's crying.
And then on his deathbed, he's mocking Frieza and then he just shoots him through the heart. God, that is how you do these fucking long drawn out fights. I know a lot of people make fun of Dragon Ball Z for all that.
There's so many moments in the series that you could point to and be like, holy shit, you kind of forget how cool they were,
Yeah, in the moment when you're watching the arcs and it's like, fuck. God, I hated Frieza. Hated Frieza when he was on that beatdown. Just everything. Yeah. When he stabbed Krillin with his horn, that was quite funny, admittedly. But when he beat up
because it's Krillin.
Yeah. Nail gets fucked.
Nail.
God, he was a good bad guy.
No, but that Vegeta moment, I actually forgot about that until right now, how great that moment was.
Yeah. I'd love to go back and rewatch all that. I will. I'm gonna have to.
I could never rewatch that series.
Oh, I have rewatched it when it was on, because it was just on a loop on Cartoon Network for years. And we taped it on VHSs, so we had all the seasons. So we just rewatched those over and over and over again.
Yeah, I watched the Frieza arc so many times, just waiting for the Cell arc to start. It started, at first it was like, okay, let's watch the Saiyan arc so many times, because the Frieza arc hasn't started yet. And then we'll watch the Frieza arc all the way through, and then it'll just go back to the beginning.
Yeah, it used to just loop back. So, like, once it got to a certain moment, and then it'd go back. And then later on, I'm sure... was it? I'm sure it'd get to certain points. So, like, in the Buu arc, when Majin Buu got awakened, and then just after, like, Vegeta blows himself up, that'd be, like, the stopping point. And I'm sure it just went back to the beginning of the arc, or... No, I think it went back to the beginning of the series.
I think it would go back to the beginning of the arc at that point.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of a pause between Cell and Boo. And then Boo it felt like Boo just went all the way through.
Ours had several month breaks, in England anyway. Like, there was about 4 big gaps, like, of a few months.
See, there might have been gaps, I guess, but it's not like they were just doing the full-on loop every time.
No, I think it was just to replay the arc again.
It was just hard to tell when they played an episode a day.
Yeah, and I'm positive they had it from start to finish in the daytime as well, because I know there was like 2 different points of the story you could latch onto. So like the latest ones,
did.
It was weird, but I missed that. Number 3 is Goku, Gohan, and Krillin against Vegeta.
That's a good one.
Saiyan arc, nice fun one.
Yeah, that's good.
Number 2, Gohan and Cell, so the final battle between Gohan and Cell, and number 1 is the final battle between Frieza and Goku. Infamously.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
I mean, it's more like 100 episodes, but whatever.
True enough. Yeah, like which part of the fight, like the I'm the hope of the universe, or like cutting himself in half?
This specifically says it's the climax, the final battle. So the cut in half, and when Goku spares his life.
Yeah. That's what's good when Goku is like, no, like he's like, holy shit, don't friggin' cut yourself in half.
Yeah,
like when he does it and Goku like feels bad, he's like, no, holy shit, you know?
Yeah, when he spared him and then he throws the energy ball at him and then Goku just blasts him again.
Yeah. No, it was great. Just like I would just lump everything like Goku and Frieza into like one thing.
Yeah,
for the best moment in the series.
Yeah. I mean, oh, God, it was good. Frieza arc was so good. Frieza was a good villain. Don't care what anyone says.
What do you mean don't care what anyone says? He's easily the best villain in the whole series.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps coming back.
I loved the, I think, favorite fight in terms of animation and everything, like just watching a pure fight for entertainment purposes was the Cell and Goku one, but...
What about the Piccolo in 15 one? That was
a movie.
17.
Piccolo in 17? I'm trying to remember which android. What android was what?
Yeah. Oh, Piccolo
17 and 18. Well, I mean, which one what do they look like?
Man, I only remember
Black
16. Hair. I only remember 16. I guess the other one.
You remember 18. Don't lie to me. Every teenage boy remembers Android 18.
Wait. No, I said 16, but I really meant 18.
Oh my
18
god.
was the girl.
Piccolo didn't fight either of those two.
No, he did
fight 17.
Piccolo fought the black guy. It was actually like a good
17.
Sequence.
Yeah, that was a cool match.
There's too many numbers.
Yeah, the Piccolo in 17 fight was good. The Vegeta and Imperfect Cell, like the second form Cell, was good.
See, when I got to that part in the series with the Imperfect Cell, is when I was watching it on I don't remember what site, it was GoGo Anime or something else. The soundtrack changed from the 2006 version to the original score, which was terrible. The Cartoon
Network. What you say, them are fighting words, depending on who you ask.
The Cartoon Network score of Dragon Ball Z was terrible, except for certain moments like the fight scenes. But it was more than just the fact that the soundtrack played consistently and never stopped throughout every scene. Like it's non-stop music.
It is like the sound of my childhood, though.
Oh, but there's good tracks like the Super Saiyan transformation. Like there were like the key moments in the series were better in the Cartoon Network soundtrack. But when you watch it in the 2003 with the original soundtrack, it's just a lot better as a whole. You know?
The original Cell Cartoon Network soundtrack was great.
The only problem is that it played throughout the whole episode and never stopped. It was consistent soundtrack the whole time, you know?
Yeah, I can't remember minding the music. There were certain moments that stood out, like say the final flash that he does against Imperfect.
Because
that had
the soundtrack was great. The Bruce Faulconer soundtrack was great in the most important moments in the series. But when you go from the original audio to that, it just...
when you're jumping about.
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell? It just keeps playing and it sounds so silly and cartoony.
I mean, what's really jarring is when you watch any of the movies and all of a sudden Korn's playing in the background.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about how they got other songs. Yeah, that's right. Could you imagine if Coryn were like contracted to soundtrack a Disney movie?
Maybe
like,
you will. I mean, I could see them in a Marvel film.
Like they're like, Phil Collins, Sting. It's time for Coryn.
I'd prefer Coryn or Phil Collins.
Yeah, I think most people would.
Hey, let's not rag on Phil Collins. He's my boy.
Nope, ragging. We're ragging right now.
Did a song with like what was it? Harmony, the Crazy Bone was in the group. Harmony, Thug, whatever.
Bones, Fog, and Harmony.
Yeah, that was a great track.
All I know is he ruined Brother Bear.
Yeah, screw off Phil Collins. You ruined Brother Bear.
Yeah, fuck you, Phil Collins. Where else? Where were we going? That's it. So Dragon Ball Z, there's the top 10 moments
Man, I watched Brother Bear at my aunt's house when I was printing out pictures of Bionicles, like Taraga Vakama and stuff. Like, I was just like, hey, you got a printer? Cool, I'm going to print out a bunch of pictures of Bionicles. And I specifically remember Brother Bear was on the TV at the time. This is probably, like, very old times.
Do all of your stories involve Bionicles somehow? Is this like...
Because this was
6 degrees from Kevin Spacey? It just becomes the Bionicles, but it's like half a degree every time?
Man, it was also the era when I went on like Arthur.com and played the games, so
Arthur.com.
I just have very specific memories, okay?
Ask your parent or guardian before going online.
And Arthur.com had like this game where like Buster, it was like, there was like UFOs and shit, and it was like the Buster UFO game. It was freaking legitimate.
Speaking of games, some sad news. Do you remember when we had strategy guides? Back in the day, when you had physical copies of them.
You can still buy them in Walmart.
All seem to come from Prima Games.
And you can go to Walmart and get the How to Survive Fortnite for 40% off here.
Oh, the unofficial one? Yeah, I've seen that with like...
It's 40% off because no one buys it.
With like Minecraft, the unofficial survival guide to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those.
I want to buy one of them Fortnite ones because I just want to see like what's inside.
I know, it's funny because it's not going to help you actually get better at the game.
Yeah, it's just going to be like really bad, like puns and jokes and like, this person built this, look at this.
Or
play these pranks on your friends.
Build as high as you can to secure high ground. Take your time and hide. I don't know how Fortnite plays up.
That's both sound strategies. But yeah, Prima Games, they're going out of business, sadly, in spring 2019, because I guess nobody buys physical copies of strategy guides. And also they're like, 20 quid each or something. Like,
I'll say they're better versions online for free.
Exactly. Like, the only guides that I buy now, I think the last one I bought in terms of strategy guides was, Final Fantasy 15s, because it was like a sort of weird mix of an art book and a guide.
Yeah, they started doing those though.
I don't mind them because they look cool.
I like the old guides. There's something charming about game guides.
Yeah.
See, there is, and I love them for like Metroid games because how do you get this really like weird trick shot done? Oh, you do this.
Man, I bought the freaking guide for Halo CE Anniversary in 2012, and I really don't know why I did that.
I couldn't possibly tell you.
Because I could play
goals.
I can play Halo CE with absolutely no problem whatsoever because it's an easy game. But I don't know why I felt the need to. I think I just saw it and I was just kind of like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I guess I'll buy it."
I mean, there was a time when owning the guide was like a prestige item almost. Like it didn't matter if you needed it or not. It was
Man,
just something cool to have to go with your game. And this, of course, was before you could buy 50,000, what are they called? The pop figures to go with whatever video game.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
bought, there was no merchandise. It was the game and there was the guide.
I got the freaking Black Ops guide. I don't know why I have that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I think I just bought them because I saw them and I was like, that'd be kind of neat to look at.
I liked the I always like getting them for the Final Fantasy games, and like Kingdom Hearts and stuff.
I say it makes sense for like big RPGs with secrets and shit, right? If you have like 25 different endings, sure, maybe you want something to tell you how, but also the internet does it for free these days.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, sometimes guidebooks are like better because they're more focused than the internet. If you go on the internet, you could just see a billion things, but if you get a book, it's a lot more concise and it's final feeling. When you go on the internet, it's not. It's when you look up stuff on the internet, it's not final. If you look up like something about like say guitar, like if you want to learn more about guitar, the best way to learn about it is in books and not online because online there's simply too much information. But if you get like a book, it's more concise and it's all right there and it never changes and it's never no distractions, you know.
And I can't tell you how many times I've loaded up like a 5-minute YouTube video to solve a 10-second problem, and the first 4 minutes and 50 seconds is a 12-year-old British kid going, "This is my video. This is how you find the thing. It's by this thing. I really like this thing."
Guys, any
okay, guys, so this is my video.
That's the other thing. That's the other version of it. And the volumes are already always wrong.
Anytime you want to do anything on the computer, maybe you want to get the homebrew channel on the Wii, anything like that, you got to go through that kind of shit on YouTube. It's so true.
Shout out to the ones who know that their voices or mics crap, so they just fire up Notepad and just write in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. And people write in Notepad.
Appreciate those ones.
Yeah.
I just want a silent video of you going to the thing that I want to see.
Pretty much.
I don't want your intro. I don't want you to say, "Hey, it's your boy." I just want you to do the thing.
All you need is for the thing to be done. There should be no introduction, no "Hi guys, it's me." No, just show me what I want to see.
I want the shortest running time possible.
5 seconds.
But then I don't trust videos under a minute. I'm always like,
Well, see, there's a lot of videos like that, especially when it comes to like stuff like, I don't know, if you want to download some kind of thing where you can emulate on your PSP, you can just look at the dislikes and know if it's a good or bad video.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I never do that. I will next time. Next time I need to emulate
next time
on the PS1.
Man, I put Mario Kart on the PSP and it played at like 0.7 times speed and it was not fun.
That's 75% speed for everyone else out there.
Yeah. No, it's 0.7 times speed.
70%.
Man, I feel like if you say like 0.7, it's better because like if you say like if it was played at 1 speed, it's kind of like confusing. But if you say 0.7 times speed, people get it.
Well, yeah, because 1 speed isn't a thing. It's not how it works, man. That's just normal.
Yeah.
You can say it's being played at 1 speed. It's not a volume slider.
True enough. Yeah, but if you say 0.7 instead of 7, if you say 75% speed, I instantly think that it's a 75% like speed boost.
I don't know why you would.
I don't know either.
I feel like if you wanted to convey that, you would just say it was playing 75% faster.
Or you'd say 175% speed.
Oh yes, you could say that as well.
No, you'd say
We're not going to.
You'd say 1.75 speed.
Anyway, just also with Final Fantasy 15 has cancelled a lot of its DLC content. So sadly, we're missing episodes with Luna Freya, Noctis, and more. They're still planning to release some DLC, but
sure, but like, I just don't know how they thought they could get 5 years of DLC out of it in the first place.
That was very, very silly.
Yeah, like when are they doing this remake?
Of 7?
Yeah.
It's happening.
Is it
2021 maybe?
2021?
They're working on it, man. I don't know. They've at least released gameplay. There's something out there that exists.
Yeah, we're using another studio and then it's gone all in-house, and I know the director of Final Fantasy 15's left the company now to work on his own stuff. I don't know. Maybe we'll get more news. Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 is done. And
yeah, that's the real question. Is that game actually going to come out in January?
Yeah, that's done now. That's pretty much in the book. Like, they're releasing so many trailers and shit, so.
Man, it was like 2012 that they were like, hey, this game's coming out.
It was before that. When did 2 finish?
Well, I
2
remember.
finished in 2005.
What was
exactly.
the first?
It's been since then.
Well, there was like an E3 trailer in like 2012 that people were like, holy shit, it's coming.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, there's word of it since 2 finished. It's been a long time. I just pray for the Kingdom Hearts people that it's not going to turn into a Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be great.
It looks like more of the same. From what I can see
remember Duke Nukem Forever where you can go to your urinal and press like triangle to piss? That game was great.
The thing is, Duke Nukem Forever was more of the same, and it was not what people wanted anymore.
Yeah, but you could press a button to piss. It was
That's
amazing.
not a good game design.
But this one's this is a JRPG, so I feel like it'll be fine. I mean, speaking of more of the same, they've just literally remember all the characters you killed in the second one?
Duke Nukem is the JRPG. It's the jerk RPG. No, because he's a jerk. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes,
he's a jerk.
Can we move on now?
But yeah, it is coming out on the 29th, I'm telling you. But once that's done and that's out the door, all those people, I'm assuming they will be shifted back onto Final Fantasy 7. If they're not already, so maybe we'll see some progress. Maybe we'll see something at E3 next year. Probably not, but the year after, I'd certainly expect something. So
hopefully they're all taking a much-needed vacation.
Yeah, because they've been working on a game 15 years. Do you think that most of them will be alive when Final Fantasy VII comes out?
No, they're all going to be dead. We're all going to be dead.
We'll be dead by then. Never mind.
There'll be one programmer left in the post-nuclear apocalypse, just typing away. Can't even type properly. It's just one letter at a time.
I'm gonna get this out, guys. It's gonna happen.
Translated from Japanese.
So when they make Final Fantasy VII, will they have released Final Fantasy 77?
Potentially.
Probably.
I think that's the real question here.
I think it's entirely possible.
Yes. Well, time will tell, right?
Time will tell, and we'll be the first to let you know. Well, we won't be the first, but
Hello,
we'll
guys.
Welcome
to the Square Enix podcast.
Yeah, we're going to get bought out by Square Enix after episode 400.
Yeah, they'll do it. We're going to get bought out by Defy Media. Timely joke.
Hilarious.
Let's roll on in then to the full season recap.
Okay, this is the part of the show where I will sit here and ruin the discussion instead of making a waffle.
Well, at least we know what's happening. All on the same page.
Make some waffles, man.
Okay, fine. I think I might make a waffle.
No, you don't have to make waffles. It's okay.
No, go make waffle. You've committed to the bit. You got to do it now.
Okay.
I want to see you sitting on your amp in 5 minutes.
Man, I'm not sitting in that room, so my amp's over there. I ain't moving my shit over there.
No excuse.
Maybe I'll slap squat on the couch.
You slap squat on the couch. You do that. But meanwhile, why Manimal does that? Because he hasn't watched anything. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, it is safe to say.
Given his waffle status. So, I haven't really watched anything because I have been working all of the nights since we had a podcast. So, it's Coryn. It's you again.
Of the show. Holding it up. Let's see. So it's a big week in the fall season because it basically means everything's at its midway point.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of know if something's going to be going somewhere or if it's just going down the drain. I guess there's one way.
Going or it's just going.
So I will say Honda-san is amazing. Can do no wrong. I love that skeleton.
Man, I
He's a good
sent
little
you guys a video of Tele Francais Les Squelettes. I hope you appreciated that.
Sure.
Yeah,
you didn't even watch it. I know you didn't watch it.
Get all your videos in the middle of the workday, dude. I can't even turn on the sound. I don't know what you want me to do, man.
I know.
So yeah, Honda-san's really good. Then Golden Kamui was a little fucking crazy this week. They stole a blimp.
There's a blimp in there. Okay.
There's a blimp. They stole a blimp. And then a dude got shot in the fucking head. It was real sad. And then they pulled a fucking Star Wars and they climbed in like some dead deer carcasses to wait out a storm.
Yeah.
That is straight from the Empire Strikes Back handbook.
Yeah.
Would that work?
I don't know. I think it probably won't, but maybe it will. I guess it depends how long you want to be in there, man. The heat's going to dissipate.
I guess so.
And I didn't get to talk about it, but the episode beforehand, they did like a whole Last Supper scene, which was really funny. Especially because 3 of the people in the frame were dead bodies.
Oh.
But you know, it's funny because it's Golden Kamui.
Dead people.
You know how that's funny?
It is funny. Because Golden Kamui is funny.
They have a dry humor to it. So that was good. And then, what was next? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It continues to be a bizarre adventure. There's a dude, his stand, it wasn't really clear, but I guess he could make a thing that's like an extra layer of skin on another thing, and he could hide in the tiny little gap between the two things, and he could stab people and drain out the air from their bodies so they'd be like empty balloons, and then he could drag them into the little gap between the two things.
Yeah.
Right.
He made a real thin boat over another boat, and then the hero whose stand is called, the translation in English, because they can't get the rights, is Zipper Man. But in Japanese, he's just yelling, "Sticky fingers!"
Hey, Sticky Fingers, they're referencing the album.
He unzips things, you see. So he opened up the boat and made it sink, and that because the dude was a thin boat on top of a regular boat, he began to drown. So he had to stop being a thin boat.
Oh.
And then Zipper Dude unzipped his head from his body and he died. Because it's JoJo!
His creativity knows no bounds.
I don't know if this is the best or worst season of JoJo I've ever seen in my life. I can't tell.
Man, if they have a guy called Zipper Man and he sings Sticky Fingers, I'd say that's probably like the best season.
Like, usually the stands, they're already named after something musical that they don't have the rights to in English. And they
how can you not say Sticky Fingers in the subtitle? Like,
because they know
it's
related to the music.
Yeah, but it's just an album title.
I know, but it's how it works, man. Copyright law. Like, the main JoJo stand, the actual name when he yells it out is Golden Experience, like the Prince album, or Prince song, rather. But, they had to change it to Golden Wind because it's legally okay.
That's just strange. Like, you should be able to mention a freaking album title.
Yeah, they don't work like that, unfortunately.
Like, goddamn Sticky Fingers, but whatever.
It adds a humor all of its own.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was going to say, I prefer that where the subs aren't matching due to legal reasons. That just seems funnier to me.
It just adds a hilarity to it. And I wish I caught... There's another dude whose stand got revealed, and his thing is, his stand, like... copies someone else and like records all their movements so he can like watch somebody from like the past. So like he makes his stand replicate one of their friends and like they can hear all the noises that were happening around it too. And he has like this like digital display that's counting down from 5 minutes ago. And he can like rewind it and fast forward it and shit like that and pause it. I'll have to report back on what the song it's based on, but I do not remember. But yeah, that was real good. And boo. Okay, do you know that thing in Trigger shows about midway through where they're like, here's more plot on top of the plot you thought you knew?
Yeah.
Alright, so that happened. So
You thought you knew this plot.
You thought you fucking knew what was going on, and it's less ridiculous than usual. You still kind of know what's going on, but this explains more about it. It's basically, as we know, Kaiju shows up, Gridman punches Kaiju in the face, the Kaiju goes away. There's one Kaiju that also turns into like a kid, and he hates Gridman. But like, this time there's a girl just showed up, and imagine the frog girl from Boku no Hero.
Yeah.
In a hoodie. She's also like
in a hoodie.
Really short. So that's the character. And basically she just shows up and she's like, hey, I'm also a kaiju. By the way, this city is the only thing that exists in the universe.
Okay.
Everything else doesn't exist. And the chick who's been making the kaiju is actually a god. She's the god of your universe and you don't even fucking know it.
Okay.
And at one point she gets real big and acts like she's gonna eat the dude. And then she's like, nah, I'm not gonna eat you.
She's a merciful god.
She is a merciful god. Well, no, she's not a god. She's a kaiju. Frog Girl is a kaiju.
Oh, I thought you meant the god girl.
No, the god girl is still a bitch. Although maybe she's just a human and she's being influenced by Axe Cop because Trigger has to make a character in all their shows that's just Axe Cop. So Axe Cop is secretly the one who's like conducting all this, but he's also a kaiju from the outside. And he got the girl to make the city, I think. I don't know. It's very confusing. I like it. It's
I don't know how you could be confused. It sounds very simple.
It makes more sense when you watch it. Not by much, but it does.
Ah, okay.
But it's really good. Like, the kid who can turn into a kaiju, his whole thing is he can replicate other attacks. Also, he really wants to kill Gridman. And like, the God Girl has figured out that the main character is turning into Gridman. And she's just like, tells the kid, hey, go kill this dude. He's Gridman. And then he tries to kill the kid. And he's like, the other people show up and like fend him off. But he's like, I mean, he is Gridman, but he's not Gridman. So if you kill him, you can't actually fight Gridman. You'd just be killing a kid. And he's like, oh, fuck. I guess I gotta wait for you to turn into Gridman now. Also, he's befriended Thick Girl, or Thick Girl has befriended him.
Oh, yeah. Thick Thighs Girl.
Thick Thighs Girl.
Extra thick. We're calling her now.
Calling her extra thick. Glasses, red hair, and extra thick. Those are the characters of Gridman.
Gridman.
Yep.
I'm glad it's good. I'm glad it's still doing its thing.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see how it goes. I saw some backlash about it, but also I think those people are just looking to be angry. So I don't know how you could be mad at that.
They were mad at what?
I guess they didn't like the story development.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, whatever. You can not like a story if you want. If you want to be a little widget. I'd wait to see where it's going, because at least it sounds like it was an intentional plot twist. It wasn't like the Darling and the Franks thing, where it was like 22 episodes go, but also the main bad guy's aliens.
Oh, yeah, no, it makes sense within context. Like, they're just expanding on what you already kind of knew.
Exactly.
It's basically
that's
like...
That's fine to me.
They're just like saying, the girl who's making the kaijus has more power over your universe than you think she does. It's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Also that there's more... because we already kind of knew that there was kind of more to the kaiju thing than just big monster she makes out of clay. Because obviously there's the kid who has a mind of his own that turns into a kaiju. And then there's Axe Cop kaiju thing on the computer. Basically, it's just another one going, hey, I have a mind of my own, and I personally don't think this is the right way to go about things. Like, she's still being weird and enigmatic about it, but she's like, I'm not here to just murder you. But they did explain that the other kaiju that are, like, in the background are, like, producing a smoke that make people go, like, forget things, I guess. That's part of why nobody ever remembers anything. And they are also, like, putting the city back together at night after it's been destroyed. And that's how it's all happening.
Oh, they're nice little kaijus, them ones.
I mean, they're not really nice. They're still giant monstrous kaijus. But it does explain why there's just giant kaijus hanging out in the background all the goddamn time.
Do you guys know what I realized?
What?
If Nair ran for mayor, he'd be Mayor Bonds, and his slogan would be the Mayor Bonds with you.
I hope the mayor doesn't bond with me. I feel like that is charges for dismissal, grounds for dismissal. You can't just do that.
I don't know. He'd just be like, I'm Mayor Bonds. The Mayor Bonds with you.
Okie dokie.
How long have you been holding on to that one?
I just went to make an English muffin, so I haven't really been holding on to it for too long. Man, I ain't got no waffles in the house.
Well, we're glad it hasn't been too much of a problem with you.
Sorry to hear that.
Finally, though, I watched the latest episode of Doubledecker, and I have to... Doubledecker is like the most woke anime I've ever seen in my life.
Get woke!
Like, this last episode was... The big thing is, there's a really fancy high school, right, and their prom's coming up. And it's like a big deal because like a bunch of the like prom queen candidates keep getting attacked on the streets, and it's like a crime wave of that. So they're like, man, why are all these prom queen candidates getting attacked? And like there's this whole subplot about one of the chick who's in Lesbians with the robot. And she's really angry about like prom as a concept because her like best friend growing up tried to go to prom after coming out as transgender and was like demonized for it. And that's why she hates, like, high schoolers and proms. Because it fucked up her best friend.
She didn't want no proms.
It didn't come out, it just came out of nowhere. It's like, oh, by the way, we're talking about transgender issues now. Like, okay, anime, shit. Yeah. You go in for the heart of things. But
I can see what you mean.
Also, it was kind of hilarious, because it was based on an American high school prom. Because they had to do a whole explanation at the beginning of the episode to explain to Japanese people what prom's about. But they didn't say prom. They just the Japanese voice actors, instead of saying prom, they just said big dance. It's the big dance. It's not the prom, it's the big dance, even though the subtitles kept calling it prom.
But I can see in Japan that's how they would.
It's the easiest way to explain it.
It's just big dance.
But it goes back to what we were just talking about JoJo of clearly they're trying to say one thing, but they just can't get there. And except it's the opposite direction.
It's the big dance.
Big dance.
I'm fine with the big dance. Sorry, my mic fell off a cliff. Not an actual literal cliff, but Continue.
So yeah, no, it was interesting. I really like Doubledecker. It seems like they got this... It's sort of a monster of the week with the main story happening in the background, which I like, so... It's good. Gotta see more of Blonde and Robot Girl.
Yeah.
And the main character still doesn't realize that everyone else already knows Robot Girls are robots, so every time she basically tried to tell people that she is in fact a robot because it's not a secret. But because he thinks it is a secret, he just like jump in the middle of everything and start doing the robot and chanting.
Okay.
I love this show. It's so stupid. Stupid and lighthearted.
That's how I like most of my shows.
And speaking of stupid and lighthearted, I haven't started watching this, but I feel I need to, because in the last, 3 days, I've seen a shit ton of clips from it from all of a sudden. It's from last season. It was a show called Asobi Asobase. Remember that one?
I told you guys about that show.
I was going to say, isn't that one that Manimal watched?
Tried to watch.
I watched 5 episodes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I knew you were talking about it, but I never got around to actually get into it. And now I'm so mad at myself for not. It's so funny.
I should watch the rest of that show because it was good.
I love how one girl has no eyes. They're just dots.
Yeah.
They all have distinct character designs, and the facial animations are super fucking intense.
Well, just the nature of the comedy and the jokes they make are pretty great in that show.
Oh yeah, it's so, what's the word? It's just so crazy.
Again, the piss joke was pretty amazing.
I haven't seen that one, but I have seen one where they build a robot of the blonde girl who speaks perfect English, but it only knows how to swear.
There you go. Wait, I don't know that one. Wait, do you tell me you haven't got to the part where where they're playing in the pool and the teacher
like I said, I've just seen a bunch of clips from it. I need to watch the show proper.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's so stupid and silly, and I really want to watch it.
I should watch the rest of that because it was actually a good show. Just like Bunny Girl is a good show, but then it got to 5 episodes and I was like, oh yeah, that show. Oh yeah, I didn't watch that episode. Okay, I guess I'm just not gonna watch it.
And he never watched it, guys.
Spoiler alert.
Well, there's never say never. Never too late to catch up on some, so you know.
See, it's just, when you read the synopsis, it does not describe the show at all.
Well, no, this is like a punk rock show. You don't know what it's going to be until you watch it, and then you're like, shit.
Yeah, because the synopsis is the girl's trying to get help with English from the chick has American parents, but she was born and raised in Japan. She doesn't know how to speak English, which doesn't make sense, but I guess that's how it is.
Doesn't make sense.
And that's just it's a slice of life comedy, but it doesn't explain just how fucking surreal the comedy is.
See, that's good. It's because it does the old switcheroo. Even the opening of the series is very stereotypical, and if you just watch the opening, you're like, wow, this show looks like nothing. But it does the old little switcheroo on you,
The old switch'em-a-bob.
That's what they did in High School Fleet as well, which was very commemorable, how they changed the marketing of the series from it's a cute show about how they learn about boats to it's a show about how they engage in naval warfare.
Yeah.
Which one was it in the end?
It was the one where they are on the boat fighting other ships and shit.
Oh.
High School Fleet, freaking shout out. I mention Kaiju all the time. I miss it every day, but High School Fleet was also amazing.
Friggin' rip Kaiju.
Rip Kaiju.
Are they making a Kaiju live action or something like that?
Man, no. It was they in some random country they started doing it. They started
they started doing it as a sport. I just remember real people doing it. I'm like,
I don't know. I don't remember if it was Brazil or something like that. It was South American or something or other. And they started doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think it was Brazil.
It was something like that. And they were just like, let's do this. Freaking Kaiju, I rip it every day. But High School Fleet also rip it every second day.
Not every day. Well, most days.
Not every day, but
you
some
take
days.
day off on High School Fleet. But Kaiju, every day.
Kaiju, on the other hand, phenomenal.
If you would like to publicly mourn Kaiju with us, please call us at 1-800-SLAPPIN'. That's 1-800-SLAPPIN'. SLPIAN.
We haven't had a show that's been able to equal that since it came out. Straight up.
Well,
not for you.
Shows that can't be equaled. That's all the shows I've watched this season that can't be equal.
There you go.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. That's the full season recap from these guys.
Yep, halfway through, midpoint. We're basically going to be doing a new fucking preview in 2 weeks. God damn it.
Yeah, we are.
Ah!
In, how many episodes? Yeah, in 3 episodes. 3 weeks it'll be the, winter season winter season preview.
Oh, shit.
Fucking weird, isn't it?
It all happened so fast.
Where does the time go, everyone? Where's my time going? Why are you taking it?
Yeah, why? You give it back to me.
Give me my time back.
Stop taking my time. I didn't ask you to take my time.
I'll never return your time to you. I'm the French time thief.
Man, this ain't no timeshare.
Yeah, it's not sharing because I am stealing it from you. Well,
at least you're up front, so I don't care. I'm alright with that now.
Oh, I got away with it again.
Yeah, you do, you frickin' Marcello frickin'...
I am Pierre Marcello Belmont de Far.
Man, Téléfrancais, Les
French time thief.
Les Squelettes, you guys watch Les Squelettes.
Are you saying let's go, let's?
No, you guys, Téléfrancais, Les Squelettes. You guys need to watch it, because I'm surprised that it's not like a popular thing on the internet, because it's just as good as the spooky dance.
We'll have to investigate.
Les Squelettes is just as good as like that iconic dance, you know?
Which iconic dance?
The one where the guy has a pumpkin helmet face on.
Oh, the spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah. Les Squelettes is just as good, but not as many people know about it.
No one knows, because no one wants any Les Squelettes in their life.
Probably because it doesn't have a skeleton head in it. Or a pumpkin head,
exactly.
Rather.
Yeah, but it has the Les Squelettes, though.
It doesn't tell us anything.
Well, it has Les Squelettes.
I've gathered that it's got Les Squelettes in.
Yeah. Do you know what it does
the definition of Les Squelettes could be useful.
I mean, I think Les Squelettes
is
too much
effort for this show.
Skeletons. Like, Les Squelettes, like, this ain't no bracelets or Barbies. This is goddamn skeletons.
I don't know if that's obvious at all.
Les Squelettes.
No.
Have you got any parting words, anyone, before we head out?
Yes, at the end of this episode, we will play my song. Which song will we play? The Crow's Feather from my new album, My Nonsense.
And I will say that it is currently 2018, which means it's potentially been 100 years since the end of World War One. It's Veterans Day in America, Remembrance Day in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, Remembrance Day, important. Veterans Day, that's the day for 20% off socks or whatever.
It's literally the same thing. We just rolled everything else into it, man.
Yeah, but you ain't got no poppies.
I am wearing a poppy right now.
What?
I'm wearing a poppy right now.
Oh, I stunned him.
Yeah, you stunned me there. That really threw me off my game.
What?
Now I really don't know what to say.
It is Remembrance Day. It's pretty damn crazy. You know, hopefully we won't live through a war, so. I don't know. On that note, thanks everyone. If there's any people out there listening.
Shout out to the Missouri World War I Museum for not mentioning Vimy Ridge even once.
Technically it's the National World War I Museum, but yeah, shout out to, the veterans and all that.
Oh yeah, we went World War I's museum.
Yeah, and they didn't, and the whole time I had my eagle eyes, like, where are they going to mention Vimy Ridge, and they didn't.
Fucking didn't. No Vimy Ridge.
Man, we got mentioned most of the specifics.
Man, we got Vimy Ridge on the $20 bill. That's how important it is to us.
Well, you can have your own National World War I museum.
There's probably a few.
Think it'd be as big as that one, though.
Probably not.
I don't know. Right, that's 157 in the books. Thanks for listening, everybody. Because it was a wild one. It was crazy. It was wilder than the Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, you guys like the Wild West?
James West.
You guys?
I don't know the rest of the words.
You guys been playing Cowboy Simulator and Roblox? Yeah, you know how wild it gets.
I'm all about that Cowboy Simulator on Roblox. I'm going to play it right now after the show. So, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to head off. So, thanks for listening, everybody. Join us next week for, I don't know, Manimal is going to reveal an absolute bombshell.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap the rest of Wild Wild West.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bombshell. There's gonna be Wild Wild West. Next episode will be so booming. It'll be too big for the two of us in this town.
It'll be Boomtown Central.
It'll be Boomtown. You'll be booming. I'll be booming. We'll all be booming.
Slap it.
But yes, it sounds like it's time for the Chuny Chronicles. So goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Tune in again.
Oh, steal your time.
I'm gonna steal that time from you. And now, wait, I gotta read the last chapter. I don't remember where I went. Wait, I'm kind of figuring out. Wait, guys, it's hard to tell because my writing is very like I don't necessarily type what I say.
How? I don't even know. I don't even want to ask.
Man, what did I do in the last Chuny Chronicles? I can't read my own typing.
I thought you were going to say handwriting, but it's typing. So how can you?
Okay, I got it. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. The pages of the Dilbert calendar fell to the washroom floor, ruined by water and footprints. The Chuny's mirror was smeared with toothpaste and spit, uncleaned and undone, like the whole room. For every day was merely another survival tactic to make it through back to the room. The posters and trinkets which decorated the walls made it shine like a movie scene. All day in the office, the Chuny wondered, when would I see the light? To go back and forth from one to the other, the mere passing of time, a pain as 2 hours, 3 hours, counting on the dot. The Chuny, unbelievably, merely existing, for the room remains with the Dilbert pages and posters all along the wall. The Chuny has now found nothing, for the apartment was merely a phase, and a phase, like all, does in fact pass. The Chuny in society finds what? A reason to exist, to fulfill the cause for money and success. There was no success in the mind of the Chuny, merely another day to live. For the Chuny remains on a plane of existence where existence itself is not questioned, is merely purpose. The Chuny knows this. And now the crow's feather.
Silent night, the stars bestow. There are some things you can't Please let me see a smile. Please let me see a smile.